Oh, sorry, gotta record. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Show Me How It's Done. Today I'm really excited to show you how to recreate one of the cards from our spring catalog. So this catalog, unfortunately, the cover's gone, but this guy is retiring in June. But the good news is this stamp set is carrying on to Stampin' Up's next annual catalog. So that means it'll be good until May 2023. So you have lots of time to recreate this project. But sometimes when I'm looking through my catalogs, I find that some of the cards that Stampin' Up makes, they actually sell the stamp set for me because I'm not really sure how to use it in the first place. They give me an idea to use. So on page 57 of my little catalog, I was struck by this really gorgeous card using the girl in the window, kind of, just sitting there drinking some tea. I loved that card. So what I wanted to do was I recreated this card, but used basically the exact same design that I thought Stampin' Up had used. Now I don't have their exact measurements, so I kind of made my own. I'm thinking they might have made theirs a tiny bit smaller than I did, but I really wanted to get the full effect of the window. So I hope you like the card that I've recreated for you, and you can easily follow along with this one. So let's get going. This is my interpretation. I went with some of the darker colors, and instead of that pink background that they used, I just brought in the pink kind of on her shirt. So what we're going to need if you would like to create the project is the In the Moment stamp set. And this image right up here is what you're going to mount onto a block, as well as the stamp You're in My Thoughts. So if you have those two handy mounted on a block, you're good to go. Okay, so card base measurements. For my card, I used just Jade Cardstock. That is one of our colors that is retiring, so make sure to grab a couple extra packages if you want it. I have made mine 4.5 by 9 inches. And then I put a score mark at the 4.5 mark so that I make myself a perfect square card. Okay, so grab your nail or a bone folder to make that nice and flat. We're going to open our card upwards just to give it a little bit of a different fold. And we need a few layers now. So for the outside of my card, I'm using Night of Navy and White as my accents. And I'm actually going to do the exact same on the inside so I have something to write on. So all at once, you can cut these together. You'll need 2 pieces of Night of Navy, 4.25 by 4.25, accompanied by 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 4. Okay, so you can actually go ahead and attach these 2 pieces to their bases, and then we'll attach them to our card front in just a second. So I am a tape girl. I like the double-sided tape, but if you prefer to use seal or glue even, that is completely up to you. So we're just going to put our basic white pieces onto their colored backgrounds, and we'll attach them to the card from there. Okay. Oh, one thing about tape, it's very sticky. Got my dog hair on there. There we go. So putting all these together. I just like to get some of these basic pieces out of my way. I find once they're attached, I'm not tripping over them on my workspace, and I don't need to worry about this as much. Okay, so we've attached one of the bases together. This one's going on the inside of my card, so we might as well put tape on the back of that blue piece also, and we will get that snug and set right on the inside of your card. There we go. Usually I just put a piece of white on the inside of my card, but I'm making this for a special friend, so I kind of like to dress it up, and I find the easiest way to do that is simply by adding a cardstock color on the inside. It just really brings it to life, and I didn't have to do anything else. Okay, so on the front, I'm going to attach my white to the blue, And instead of putting it flat onto the card, I'm actually popping the blue piece up on dimensionals just to bring my card to life a tiny bit. Okay, so flip your blue over, grab some dimensionals, and make sure you've got a nice perimeter of those set out for your project. We're not putting too much weight on top of it, so it doesn't have to be covered with them, but 5 or 6 is a good amount. There we go. Then right in the middle, so you should have a nice little jade border all the way around those sides. Okay, so now we get to work on some stamping and coloring. I should have said, if you're somebody who's maybe a little nervous about how your coloring is going to look, you could have left this white piece off and done your coloring and stuff first. And then, you know, you can just flip your page over if you make a mistake. But I unfortunately forgot to tell you that, so I'm going to just be at the mercy of stamping on top of this now. So I've got my girl set mounted. I'm going to use our lovely Memento black ink pad. And I like to just keep my pad on the table, or my block on the table, so that I can ink it up. And I'm going to stamp right in the middle of my section here, okay? So, pardon my reach here. There we go. So make sure it's nice and flat. You kind of rock it all over the place so it touches all angles, and lift up. So I'm going to move, sorry, I'm just moving you guys over. If you're watching live, please feel free to say hi. You can comment where you're watching from and if something's catching your eye. Okay, so let's do some coloring. I decided to bring a whole slew of blends in, and I'm using a really soft palette for mine, but you can use anything you want. So whatever you own. My color choices are Flirty Flamingo, Mint Macaron, So Saffron, Pool Party, and then I brought in a few lighter colors to add just some accents here, here and there. So I've got the Ivory for her skin. Of course, we have those gorgeous natural tone blends. You can choose any gradient that you want to use. I'm grabbing a gray granite and crumb cake. So I just have colors that I can play with as I want, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with some of those bigger sections, and then we'll add details from there, okay? So I'm going to go with Flirty Flamingo. I've got my dark color. So everywhere on her shirt that's Stampin' Up has kind of already added a little shadowing. That's where I'm going to add my own shadowing to. You don't have to add anything major. And then with the light Flirty Flamingo, we're going to color over her entire shirt. So over those parts that you just finished shading and over her shirt here. Don't forget her other arm. It's kind of hiding. So this part's just a little bit of coloring. You'll have to bear with me and play around, but I do have a few tricks for you. So when it's at a nice color and you're happy, you can move on to your next set. So the pants, that's going to be something fun here. We're not actually coloring the whole pants in. We're just going to grab a light color. So either your gray granite or your crumb cake, whatever you prefer. And we're just going to do the perimeter of her jeans. Everywhere that Stampin' Up has a line, you can add a line too. And just do her whole leg kind of this way. So we're leaving a lot of white space in here because we don't need to shade everything, just tiny bits. Okay, so I used my gray granite for this one, the dark, but you can certainly use crumb cake as well. It'll have the exact same effect. So whichever way you want to do it is totally up to you. Okay, so there's her pants. That's it, quick and easy. Let's get her hair done. I am blonde, so I wanted to do a blonde. So I'm going to match her hair clip just with the little Flirty Flamingo. And then with my darkest So Saffron, I'm going to come do all those lines that Stampin' Up has. Of course, you can also bring in maybe your Mango Melody Or, oh, you look almost dry. I think my soft saffron is almost dead. Let's see if the other side will work. I might need to switch. I think I need to replace this. Well, she's going to be a very light blonde today. That's okay. And I need a new Saffron marker. Good thing I'm putting an order in. Okay, I'm going to just grab one more. Sorry. Put those to the side so I remember to order them. I'm just filling it in with my mango melody. Here we go. Because you need to see some color. There we go. Now she's a blonde. Okay, next order of business, we're going to grab our crumb cake. Also, you could use gray granite. And we're going to color in the windowsills. Oh, is that ivory? Yes, this is ivory. Haha. Let's color over that. There we go. Crumb cake or gray granite. So the reason I'm showing you these coloring techniques is I have tried to copy the Stampin' Up picture as closely as I could. So everything that I could visualize them doing, and I kind of guessed at colors. That's what I'm trying to show you here. So we're just using the colors for the windowsill, or the kind of window panes. And then we're going to grab Ivory because we need her skin. There we go. Do her little toes here. Of course, if you had the natural tone blends, which I didn't when I copied the card, and I know Stampin' Up didn't when they designed this one, so that's why I'm showing it just with Ivory. You can, of course, add different layers in there. Now, I mint Macaron. The dark one is going to be the edging of this window seat pillow. So top and bottom, right there. And then the light mint Macaron is just going to fill in this window seat pillow right here. Doesn't have to be perfect on the edges because we're going to cover that over with the curtain. Now, to make the window really stand out, Stampin' Up just grabbed their pool party and started going along the edges. So you can grab your light or your dark of these window panes. Okay, so every square, you're kind of just tracing the outsides to get it really to come to life. So the blue will fade a little bit as we go. Hopefully you can see how it really makes things stand out, just to add that tiny bit of blue. Okay, and again, it doesn't need to be perfect. You're just adding color on a really soft scale. Okay, and then I guess the last thing would be her little mug. You can color it whatever color you wanted. I'm just gonna use yellow here. But maybe you've got a nice red mug or favorite something else. Now you're probably wondering, why haven't you colored the pillows? So typically, I would probably just choose another blends color. But what I noticed in the catalog was they used designer series paper to make pillows. So this is a fun masking technique that I want to show you guys. So the paper package that I'm using and Stampin' Up is using as well is this guy here. So this is called the Sweet Symmetry paper. So you can choose all sorts of fun kind of paisley patterns. You can use them for your curtains. You can use them for your pillows. So I chose this one for the curtains, and I'm using these two colors here for my pillows. Now to make your life easy, if you grab yourself just a small scrap, there's no set size that you need, small scraps of designer paper, and turn them into stickers with our adhesive sheets. So I just cut an adhesive sheet 1 by 2 inches, the same size of my scrap. I'm going to take off the backing And I'm going to turn this into a sticker so that when I have these teeny tiny pieces, I don't have to worry about gluing them. They'll be a sticker, okay? So adhesive sheets on the back. You do need that girl stamp. Now one more time. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping on these pieces, and then we fussy cut them out so that they fit inside the pillow sections. So again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's just a fun little way for you to add some character with the designer paper, okay? So all you need to ink up here is the little pillow. Make sure you get the top and the bottom of it though, and choose whichever one you would like first. So here's our pillow, and stamping pillow. Where can you go? Here we go. Onto our scraps. You can barely see it on the blue, but it is there. I'm going to do this one more time. You should be able to see it a little bit better. Oops, sorry. On the yellow. Okay. There we go. So you see my pillow right there. So with my scissors, I'm just going to cut on the lines of the large pillow. That's the one I'm going to do first. So you can cut right into that foot, and then right on the lines here to make this pillow. So you can go just inside them if you want, or on the outside if you want the black to show. It's totally up to you. Okay, and then do you remember how we turned this into a sticker with our double-sided tape? So you don't need to worry about any glue. You might need your take your pick tool to get this off though. Missing my nails. There we go. Nope, almost had it. There we go. Okay, I've turned this into a sticker, and I'm putting it right in this little section. So fun little pillow that makes it look like you've got a great pattern in there. So for my blue one, we're going to do the exact same thing. You won't be able to see what I'm doing because it's on the blue. So I'm just going to do this really close to my face so I can see it. And you'll need two parts for this pillow. There's a top and a bottom piece. So make sure you cut both. But once again, it is a sticker now with that backing. So all I do is I've cut it out and I'm attaching it into this space. So if this is too much work, no stress, go ahead and just color it in. There's no penalty for that, but I just wanted to show you the technique in case you wanted to try it. Okay, this one is a little more challenging because it's a teeny tiny pillow, but it's cute, so we'll do it. There you go. So there is your pillows, two different patterns of fabric, and they kind of come to life. Now, to make these curtains, I have cut myself two pieces of designer series paper for my curtain panels. They measure 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. So both of them are very long right now, and then I'm going to trim them depending on where I actually, because just in case you had moved your stamp up a little bit, you'd want them trimmed slightly, okay? So we'll end up trimming those down. But for now, give yourself more space to work with, and then we'll just cut the bottoms off once you're happy with the placement, okay? So here's my little curtain rod. This one is 1/4 of an inch by 3 1/4. Okay, and now this guy, this is where it gets fun. You want to pop it up on dimensionals, but if you don't own the strips, an easy thing to do is just to grab any of your dimensional sheets and cut this whole strip off the side and use it for the back. We do have adhesive strips too, so that might make your life easier if you own those. But if you don't, just grab your dimensional pad and put this on the back. Okay, so you can decide where you'd like your curtain to be. I just kind of set mine up near the top here. Hopefully that's right. There we go. And now I can adjust my curtain height, okay? So curtains look a little long to me, so I think I'm gonna trim off probably about 3/4 of an inch. So I will adjust that measurement for you. You do yours about the same as I did mine. Let's try 3 1/4. That looks pretty good, okay? So 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. These guys we're going to pop up on dimensionals. Just make sure not to put dimensionals up at the tip because that's going to rest on here. So just on the way down. Okay. So one on one side, one on the other. And I lined this one on the left up with the window pane. So it gave me kind of a nice straight line to work with. And then the other one, about equal distance if you can. So I've left the teeniest little bit on the edge here, so just do the same on this side. Okay, there are 2 curtains. For my little curtain ends, you have a few different choices. So if you look in the annual catalog, just go to the die cut page. This is what I like to do. And look for small little things, such as the suit and tie buttons. You can cut out those. You can also use the alphabet dies and use the colons. What I chose was the give a whirl dies. Right here, there's a set of 3 little dots. So I am going to use that teeny little die to make my little curtain rods. So, easiest thing to do for this is to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. I will open that up. Sorry, I have to move these. Okay, I'm going to open this up here. And you'll need plate number 1, the white one, and 2 of your clear cutting plates. Okay, now I took a piece of soft suede and I actually put some of that adhesive sheet on the back. So this is now a sticker as well. And I'm going to have to cut out 2 of these because the give a whirl dies are 3 different circle sizes. So I'll cut that out twice. There's 1. And there is 2. And I'm using the largest of the 3 in here. But of course you can use whichever one you want. Okay. I don't want to lose this die, so I'm going to put it in a safe space. Move that out of the way. Okay. I have 2 little circles that are now stickers. They're easy to use. And I'm just going to stick them right on the end of my curtain rod. 1 and 2. Like that. So it just makes it look like an easy curtain rod. Now, last thing for the sentiment. The easiest thing would be to stamp in blue ink. But look at this. It's a nice long stamp. And in the catalog, Stampin' Up! Has these on 2 different layers. So I had to figure out how they did that. And I came to the conclusion that they grabbed a scrap piece of Misty Moonlight and they embossed this sentiment onto it. So using white embossing powder. So I'm just going to stamp this on a scrap. It can be anything you have. And we're going to use white embossing powder. So I just like to have a little tray. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, so now my embossing powder, you can see it looks very powdery, hence the name. And all I'm going to do is take my heat tool and kind of melt the embossing powder so it turns a glossy white. You won't really be able to hear me while I'm doing that, but I'll stop halfway through so you can hopefully see the difference. Okay, let that refocus. Can you see how your and in look really shiny if I kind of turn this to the light? And thoughts still looks rather dull. It just looks like the powder. That means I haven't melted that section yet, so I have to keep going. There we go. Okay, so I've got that all melted, and you have to fussy cut a little bit, but this is a straight line. It's as straight as they come. So let's just grab a pair of scissors, and we're going to cut right along the top of this word, leaving the slightest of blue borders around it. Cut down the side. And then you're going to keep going and go on the bottom once more, straight line. And up the S. Okay, so what we have is this nice strip. So we need to cut in between the word in and my in order to get these two different sections. And I think I cut this one really skinny. You can leave yourself a little bit more room maybe. That would probably be helpful. Okay, so we've got your, in, my, thoughts. The easiest way to attach these is either with some Tombow liquid glue or a glue dot. So on the back, actually I think I'll do this one first. On the back, I'm just going to pick up a couple glue dots. If you've got any slack, you can kind of fold it to the back. And then we're just going to put this right down here. And the other one as well. Oh, very sticky glue dot. There we go. And it just goes right above it. Like so. So there you go. Really fun card in the fact that we're using multiple techniques. We've got some masking, we've got some embossing, we've got some secret little die cuts that you had to figure out, and of course we're using blends to color. You can modify this card however you wish, but I really like to kind of explain how certain cards are done when they pop out to me in the catalog. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as well, and I do hope that you grab this stamp set and play around with it. I did a video a few weeks ago using, where is the other one? Using this little girl with her pup. I did some, it's called whitewashing coloring, just on some cardstock there. So you can look back on my videos and find that one too. But I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Next week will be a special edition of Show Me How It's Done. I'm actually going to do multiple videos because it is the release of our new annual catalog. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Head over to my Facebook page, Lauren Scrapplot, for those videos live next week. And then I'll be back live on YouTube the week after. Oh, Audrey, thank you so much for watching. And I'm so glad you like it. All right, I will see you guys later. Okay, bye.